Thank you. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to say a few words about Rhonda and her work at the CUNY School of Law. At the time that Rhonda came to the law school, she was already a very prominent feminist lawyer, argued many important cases, and could have gone to really probably almost any law school to be on the faculty. And yet she chose CUNY because she wanted to continue her work of changing the world, and she knew that she'd find a home there anchored in the justice aspirations of our students and our faculty. And in those early years, Rhonda's, I would say, kind of chief core contribution was to continue to put the idea that until we broke the private-public divide, we weren't doing gender justice work. And so two small examples, actually probably big examples in her early years at the law school, was recognizing first that childcare is a public right and a public responsibility, and she worked tirelessly to establish the first daycare center ever located in a law school. And she insisted that family law, a course focused on gender justice, was as important as a course like contracts. Family law became, as a result of her insistence, a mandatory first-year course for all of our students, and continues to this day. And Anne, that's the course Anne was the teaching assistant in, and inspired her to become a family lawyer, and hundreds of other graduates to break that private-public divide. Many teachers, after they spend some years teaching, start to teach their classes and direct their nurturing outside of the classroom and kind of get their professional succor, if you will, in their writing and in their activism. But it's outside the place where they teach. Rhonda found a way to bring that into her work as a teacher. She linked those two, and it's not surprising because she taught exactly the way she lawyered. And let me give you a few examples of that. In both her teaching and her lawyering, she was bottom up. While highly theoretical with very strong views, Rhonda listened and was profoundly shaped in her advocacy by her clients, in her teaching by her students. Lawyering, she has often said, was to be done by being responsive to what people in need want. And in her teaching, she listened to the world, and she worked in solidarity as a lawyer. So too in her teaching. She sought and was hugely successful in listening to her students' needs. As she herself said, teaching is an openness to life. Rhonda accomplished something profound in her teaching. She genuinely listened to her students' passion for justice, and she tried to reach each of them in a way that gave them not only technical expertise, but also touched their heart. One graduate at a recent gathering in which 50 of Rhonda's clinic students came from all over the states and the world to honor Rhonda described how Rhonda showed her how to keep her humanity, keep her heart open, as this student read pages of horror crimes committed against women. She said Rhonda taught her how to listen to this pain and yet not be paralyzed by it, but instead to lawyer against it. To teach these kind of lessons, a teacher has to listen deeply to what her students are saying and thinking. This wasn't hard for Rhonda. She loved her students like she loved her clients. In her own words from this same gathering, the students were her true joy. As she said, they were delicious, they were delightful, they were important. And she loved CUNY's Access mission that brings us those extraordinary and exciting students. Rhonda lawyered with a philosophy that if justice is on your side, do not limit yourself in what you ask for. And she taught the same way. She always aimed to get the students to do what they never thought they were capable of. And she raised money and sometimes chipped in some of her own to take the students around the world so that they could see the effects of their advocacy and do that important first-hand listening themselves. At the same time, convincing No, here's this word, demanding that they do their work, that they do excellent work, always reiterating, if you're going to be a progressive lawyer, you have to be the best. Demanding, a common word commonly associated with Rhonda. Like everybody's mentioned, she got away with it because she had that loving generosity and this beautiful smile on the buttons that we wear today. A CUNY support staff member who heard I was talking here today said, please tell people how important Rhonda was to the staff and to her willingness to listen and support us. I'll end with this thought. We are in the middle of the Jewish holidays, days that Rhonda celebrated with family and friends. And central to this holidays is a request. May we be blessed, and may we be a blessing. No doubt Rhonda was blessed with powerful intelligence, charisma, tenacity, and a gentle spirit. She was also a blessing to the women of the world and to those of us who had the ultimate pleasure and privilege of working with her and learning from her at the CUNY School of Law.